Hi guys, Luton here, and today I've got a video for you. I'm thinking about something that's a bit of a change for me, something that I'm going to be sort of implementing soon to do with the way in which I play games, Battlefield, as much as anything else. And it's also to do with the fact that, you know, I've had some frustrations lately. I think we all have had frustrations lately, but it's something that's been getting to me more and more and more. And it's, of course, public games. You guys probably seen some of the games I go, I just can't handle it. And you know, this week kind of epitomised that for me. It's funny though that, like I say, because this has happened to me before multiple times. It happened to me in Call of Duty, it happened to me in Battlefield Bad Company and Battlefield 3, and it eventually, like, if you don't have like a set of regular people that you can rely on to play with, and you end up being solo or with only a couple of people in public games, eventually you get to kind of like a kind of insanity break point where you're tearing your hair out and you're literally like, I can't take this anymore, I really can't handle this anymore, and you either quit or do something about it. And I have chosen the do something about it option. Now let me just roll you back to when I used to play Call of Duty. When I finished playing World of Warcraft, I played that for like 4 or 5 years, solid, really hardcore. And when I was done with that game, I had my PS3 and I decided to, hey, okay, I'm going to get back into FPS because I hadn't played much FPS through that period. And I always loved it, and I was like, okay, I'm going to get back into this. And I started playing COD 4 a lot. And you know, I always used to be able to do pretty good, and I'd have fun games, very much like all the FPS games that I play. You know, I'm not some pro CS player, but you know, I can handle myself pretty well, and I have a lot of fun while I'm doing it. But there was several rounds one evening where I literally was just staring blank at the screen going, what is happening here? I can't take this anymore. And that's because I was playing solo and I was relying on these bumbling idiots who just didn't know what up or down was, and I just was losing my mind, because when you're playing like that, it just makes it incapable for you to actually have any impact or have any kind of enjoyment in the game, because you just are pinned and cut down, and you turn a corner and you're shot in the back, and you can't move, you can't breathe, you can't do anything. It's almost claustrophobic. I think that's actually why, one of the reasons why I sometimes get so frustrated. It feels almost claustrophobic, because you feel like these people are just like pinning you down and you can't escape. It's a horrible feeling. That might sound a little melodramatic for a computer game, but it is. It's like when you kind of, I always get very immersed in games, you know, so perhaps I maybe feel it a little bit more than some people. I think there's plenty of you out there that will probably share that feeling of kind of, you know, you're trying to move, you're trying to do something, you just can't get out of there. And so I kind of lost it that night. I was like, God damn this. And I decided to find a clan like I had with WoW, like a clan, a guild, and that's the whole process of me being in clans. So for very much like the last 5-6 years, maybe a little bit more, or I suppose even longer with World of Warcraft, I have always been in some form of a clan or guild. I don't even know whether many other producers are. I think a lot of producers kind of work solo for themselves and just kind of don't have a lot of involvement unless it's with other producers. But behind the scenes of my YouTube channel, I've always been involved with my clan to some extent. Less so recently, but before that, very solidly, I was like the founding member of the current clan, as other really great admins that run it. And so today, what I'm going to be doing is I'm saying that my solution to the frustrations I've been having with Battlefield 4 and the fact that, okay, what triggered it for me this week, I joined a couple of rounds of Conquest Large, and it was like a 700-800 ticket game or something like that. And we were only about 20 or 30 tickets into the round, and the team was already spawn trapped. And I was like, what is happening here? And it's because my team had barely pushed to the first base, and then there was like multiple snipers on the hills, the tanks were trying to engage at long range, the helicopter pilots were sort of flying around just trying to like long range shoot things. So they had no will or you know, initiative to actually get involved with the game. All they were trying to do was just like pick off long range kills, and the game basically became spawn trapped within the first like 50 tickets. Now, I know that every game is not the same. Of course, you're going to have some good games, really positive stuff. I mean, I've been in some games with public players where it's been as if it was like a competitive team. You know, they've been so, because sometimes you can just feel off of other players. And the thing is, if you have good players, decent players, they can often read off of other people. You know, they'll see guys moving over here and they'll think, okay, I see that's under control, I'm going to go here. So there's that kind of sort of initiative, that kind of ability to predict what's happening and look around the game. That's what a good player is. A good player can look at that and they know where they need to be. Now, if you have like half your team with those kind of people, that kind of mentality on your team, you're going to have a strong round, because those guys are going to know what they need to do and where they need to be in order to control the situation and push it forward. And that's generally those kind of teams where they'll steamroll people, because they have such good sort of ability to just look at what's happening on the ground and then make choices off of that. It gives you a really, really strong hand. The trouble is, those kind of rounds with those kind of players are often sparse, or at least, you know, kind of a patchwork, and it just makes your experience completely inconsistent. The other thing is that, you know, with Battlefield, of course, DICE have always said that you should be able to play the game however you want to play it. You should be able to do this, you should be able to do that, you should be able to just dick around in the game if you want to, or you can take it serious. The trouble is, again, when you mix that together, it just kind of means that it's fine. Like, if you're just looking to dick around, those players can always find a game, because it doesn't matter what's happening in the game. You know, those kind of players, it doesn't matter to them, because they don't care if they win or lose. They're just screwing around and, in inverted commas, having fun. But for the people that actually want to play the game seriously, play the objective, that is kind of game breaking for you. You know, it's because it doesn't work the other way. You know, if you want to have a serious game and those kind of people are around, or just the people that don't know what they're doing are around, it does ruin the experience for you, and it can't come back in the same way. So that's one of the reasons why it's frustrating, because you guys know that I'm a fairly serious player in the way that I play games. I always sort of play for the objective. You know, of course we have some fun times. You know, I'm not, you know, I'm not sort of like some FPS robot, but you know, I tend to always move towards that sort of team play aspect, because that's what I enjoy. That's why I enjoy Arma. That's why I enjoy Insurgency as well. So with that in mind, I'm going to be doing two things. One is the server. Now, my clan server, my server, we're going to be running that. Okay, that's going to be set this week. I'm going to have some games. You guys can come and join on it. And here's the thing, is like, it's a kind of proactive way of resolving my situation, okay? Because as I've said, you know, there's going to be servers where people just screw around and do this and do that. So, you know, you can't force people to play how you would want the game to go. You can't do that, because it's just never going to work, right? But what you can do is you can make a server, and, you know, it's great for me because I have you guys as the audience. You guys are going to want to come and play, so I can. This is very much like with my PlayStation 3 server, which I had. The PlayStation 3 server that I had, on a weekly basis, I would have people come to me and leave messages saying, "Luton, your server, I have had the best games I've ever had on Battlefield." And the reason is because it attracts like-minded people. So all the guys who want to play serious, want to play the objective, want to have those really intense games, want to have people who actually will move forward, people who will actually play the objective, people who will actually take a point and actually push hard and try and actually get involved in the game. For Christ's sake, it's something that you just never see. And so when you have a server filled with those kind of people, it makes for an extremely fun, enjoyable experience, really intense experience as well. Those kind of games that I have where we turn them around, it's that kind of thing, but all the time. It's really, really awesome. And so that's what I'm looking to do. It's my solution to the problem. Also, with PlayStation 3 in Battlefield 3, I used to have a good sort of squad of guys I would run with, maybe sort of 10 people that I regularly played with, who I could rely on, who I knew how they play. I knew that they just knew what they were doing, okay? And I could say to them, "Dude, get up there," and they'd go, you know? That's what I'm looking to get back as well, because moving to the PC, I have some people that I play with, but it's quite inconsistent, and there's just not that same kind of thing. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be opening a squad in my clan. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit about the clan now as well, to give you a heads up on this. What I want to have is I want to put together a team of maybe 10, maybe 15 if it grew big, about, you know, between 5 to 10 regular people that I can rely on to play with. And this could be you know, if you want to join. But if you just want to join to get kind of better squad play, people that you can play with on a regular basis who actually think and know what they're doing, then again, my clan might be a good option for you. You might want to sign up here. The clan we've been running now for like, what is it, like 4 or 5 years. It's gone through huge amounts of transition processes, and our clan has always been based around just kind of respect and people that want to play and enjoy games. If you have people in my clan that have big egos or start to cause issues, or they're kind of constantly being unpleasant, it's not the right environment for them. They get pushed out. Or people that are trying to do too much and they're trying to, "Oh, I don't like this," you know, it doesn't really work. So over time we've actually created like a really nice community of people. There's been a lot of changes now. If you were to look at the rosters on our clan, you might only see, you'd say, well, hey, they've only got like 1 or 2 squads per game. What's going on there? The thing was with the clan, there's been, like, as I say, a load of changes, and we used to have like a lot of squads, but one thing that we found was when you have a lot of squads, you often have to have the kind of squad leaders to do the kind of squad management and stuff that we run in the clan. And so what's going to happen is that instead of having multiple squads, it's going to be consolidated into one squad, because it just kind of works better from a management point of view. There's loads of other things that go on in a clan that are really nice. We have like the game leader option. So this basically enables you to join sort of any other title. So it could be like insurgency, it could be armor. And what you have is you have a game leader who is one person who's kind of in charge of that game, and then they will run like weekly sessions. So it would be like my Armor 3 thing on Friday. We just say, hey guys, we all meet on this day, and that's when you get some gameplay. And then in between that, you can just meet up and join and play with anybody in that division, or anybody in the clan even. So it's just a really good environment, and you can, you know, create your own ideas, you can have your own input. What we've always said is, you know, it's how far you want to go in the clan. If you want to put a load of ideas forward, if you want to rise up the ranks, if you want to sort of put your own time into the clan, then, you know, everybody will support you in that. But it's just a really good environment of people. And as I say, if you just go on and read the testimonials in the clan, you'll see for yourself just the kind of people that are there, and the kind of people, the experiences that they have had. But as I say, for me, what I want to do is I want to put together this squad of people. I will be holding like kind of application sessions, probably privately on the server, or we just play some public games one evening, because I need to be able to see that people can do a couple of things. One is communicate really well, so they kind of constantly give feedback and also listen to what other people are saying. Obviously have decent gun skills, and also just kind of have some intelligence as to what it is that they should be doing. I'm not looking for like pro CS players, we're not going to be doing anything competitive, but what I'm looking for is people that have that good, solid base understanding of how to play the game. People that come in like the top 1 to 5 players of a round, who generally just are solid players. And the reason for that is that then when you put that together with everyone, you'll just have a really elite squad that can do and handle anything. And the reason is, I want to get back to what I had with World of Warcraft. In World of Warcraft, our PvP team was essentially the #1 PvP team on our server. We could just annihilate anybody, and it was because we had this amazing group of people that had been put together, and everybody knew what they were doing. And I would often run the tactical element of it, so I would kind of overview it, but I wasn't like in charge of anybody. If anybody had like something that they needed to do, or they saw something happening in the game, they would say, hey dude, we're going to go here, this is happening. You say, right, okay, get on it, you know. But I would sort of have the kind of overall game plan, so I'd be like, yeah, you need to go here, you need to go here, they're going to move here, get on to C, you know. So that's the kind of way it goes, and that's what we're looking to do with this. I want to get back to that kind of feeling that I had in World of Warcraft, where I would know that we would go into a game and my squad would be the strongest squad in that round, so that we could literally kick the crap out of anybody in that round, because I miss that. I miss having that ability to just feel like our squad is that powerhouse element. And you guys saw in the last gameplay that we did, now I was playing with almost all VG guys in that last live com that I did on Locker. I was playing with like Supra, I was playing with like Danny, Motor, and the other guys there, and that was like, and you know, Fuse has been joining us as well. Those guys that we played with, that was a good example of how VG team play goes, and so I'm really looking to get that back. So that's the two things that I'm looking to do this week, guys, and I think it's going to make my gameplay a lot more positive. I felt very, very frustrated and almost despondent very recently, and it's because of these games. I sometimes get into the games and I literally just stare at what's happening. I feel like, man, you know, I often like to think that I can have a reasonable impact into the game, but very often I just cannot have that, and I think this is going to be my solution to that. So if you want to come and join us, guys, go sign up at Veritas Gaming. I'm going to be posting some threads about how the application process is going to go. It's not going to be open publicly, it's only going to be open to clan members. So if you want to get involved there, and also I'm not promising that if you sign up you'll be able to join the squad, because it's very much dependent on who I'm going to pick to be in the squad. And I'm not going to, you know, I'm not going to break any bones about this. You know, it's going to be who I want to have in the squad. We're going to put a team together of people that I feel will work well together, and then hopefully we're going to have some really positive, fun experiences. Probably what I'm going to do is that we'll have 1, maybe 2 set days that we're going to play on. The rest of the time will just be kind of free-for-all meetups, but my squad server, the clan server rather, that will be running, and I'm going to be posting some more information about that as well, probably some games, and that, as I say, that'll be coming up this week. If you want to find out when that's happening, you're going to want to follow me on Twitter as well, Lutin09, because that's how I'm going to probably make you guys aware that the server's running and we're going to be on that. Okay guys, so that's it for today. Let me know your thoughts below. As I say, the links for everything are in my notes below. Go check that out. If you want to register with VG, go ahead and do so. As I say, even if you are not looking to play in my squad, or even to play in Battlefield 4, go check it out, because there may be some other things there that you want to enjoy, and it's just always good to have new people on board, like-minded people to build that up. Alright guys, that's all for today. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time for some more Battlefield 4.